So I'm here today to do a bit of a story time video because I'm still not feeling the best, but I want a video to be up for you guys. And I figured I would share this video on the YouTube channel because I actually haven't shared this story on the YouTube channel before. And I thought you guys would enjoy it. It's funny. So in grade 9, back in 2002, holy fuck, no, 2003, still, anyway, in grade 9, I had geography class with two cousins who came from El Salvador a couple years before. They knew that I loved Spanish and Latin culture and just speaking Spanish, and they knew I was trying to learn it. They knew that after that year of taking French that I was going to be switching to Spanish, and we became friends. They were helping me learn conversational Spanish. It was just fun. And I knew that they were religious, but I'm not one of those people that I'm not going to shit on you just for being religious. I'll still be your friend as long as you don't shove it down my throat. And for a while, they didn't do that. So come around type, December-ish, just after Christmas, maybe January, they invite me to come to their church. And they said, you've said that you're interested in Latin American culture. Well, why don't you come and see how we worship? And I thought that would be a cool idea. Like, I have gone to church before. I'm not a regular church-going person, but I have stepped inside a church. I have been part of a service or two. So I was like, sure, whatever. I'll tag along and it'll be fun. I've never been to a Spanish-speaking church before. This should be cool. So the weekend comes and the one cousin starts calling me a lot. Now this should have been my first warning, but it wasn't. And they're calling me the day of, starting, and this was supposed to be an evening service, and they're starting to call me at 8 in the morning, right? And it's a Saturday, so I'm trying to sleep in, and they're calling me, are you still coming? Are you still coming? We really want you to be there. There's this preacher coming up from the States, and we really want you to see him. Second red flag. Why do you want me to see the guest preacher? Why can't I just come see your normal preacher? Should have figured that out, but I didn't. And as the day goes on, the phone calls keep coming closer together. I'm taking a shower, I'm having lunch, and I'm missing the calls. And I'm like, why are you? Yes, I've told you I'm still coming, right? So we finally get to the church. And it's a cool, quaint little thing. It's a nice Pentecostal Spanish church. Everybody's speaking Spanish. Everyone's nice. Everyone's hugging me. Oh, yeah, bienvenida, hola. Everyone's hi, hugging, welcome. And I'm like, okay, this is really cool. And everyone keeps saying, oh, we've heard so much about you. Why? Right? I'm just like, why? It was like, we've been expecting you. We've heard so much about you. You're finally here. And I stupid, naive me didn't pick up on that. And we get to the church and we're sitting down, and this guest pastor starts his sermon, and he has a translator. So he's speaking and preaching in Spanish, and he has his translator translating. Now, I'm wondering if this is normal because pretty much everybody there speaks Spanish. So I'm like, why does he need a translator for, Well, am I the only one here that needs the translator? Why do we have the translator? Does he travel with the translator? Or is this, I don't know. But it was, so he's pacing up and down, and you can tell he's one of the fire and brimstone guys. You don't have to speak fluent any language to tell by the tone of voice, right? He's preaching fire and brimstone. The audience is eating it up, right? You can tell, like, they're answering back and everything. And then he starts comes to the every part of the evangelist's handbook, right, where they start speaking to the crowd to look for people to heal. Makes a beeline right for me. Okay? I'm the very first one he comes to. And he starts speaking to me, and, I tell him I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to go back and forth with him. So through his translator, I tell him how I went blind, right? About with the measles and, being a baby, having them take my prosthetic eyes out. And then he's telling the audience. And now the audience is straight up weeping. Like weeping openly and moaning. And your full-on evangelical sermon, right? Like the wailing. And like I could hear hands slapping to chests. And it was dramatic as fuck, right? And then he asks if he can pray over me, and I'm like, sure, knock yourself out, right? I'm like, whatever. So he draws a cross on my forehead in oil, and he starts praying on me, and then all of a sudden, I've got fucking water being poured into my eyes, and he's praying on me, and then he moves on, right? And he says, if you come up at the end of this and be saved, God will make you see again. And then my friends start in on me. Are you going to go up and be saved? Or are you going to go, like, you have to. You have to go up and be saved. Right? Like, don't you want to see again? This is why we brought you here. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This is why you brought me here? I thought you wanted me to come and, like, see how you worshiped. And they're like, no, we brought you here so we could save you and you could see again. And then, like, you'd be happy. Like, you'd be able to see. So you're going to go up and be saved, right? And I'm like, guys, I'm really sorry, but I don't believe in God. And I think it would be a mockery of your religion if I go up there and be saved if I don't believe in your God. And then the ripple starts going through the whole church. Ella no prende Dios. Ella no prende Dios. She doesn't believe in God. She doesn't believe in God. And everybody starts piling around me. Like the old women, the old men. They're, why don't you believe in God? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no prende Dios? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Why? Why don't you believe in God? And like for an hour, I'm being literally held hostage. I'm like, I want to go home. This is making me uncomfortable. I want to go home. You guys, like, I'm sitting there. If God was really a loving God, why would he steal the sight from a 6-month-old baby? That's what I asked them. Oh, that was Satan, they told me. That was Satan taking your vision away so that you couldn't see God's beauty and God's creations. That was Satan. And Satan planted that seed of doubt and hate in your heart against God. I'm like, that makes no sense. But then didn't God create all the angels, including Satan? Satan was a fallen angel. Why would God create somebody that was going to disobey him and then steal the sight of a 6-month-old baby just to make me hate God? That's again, that makes no sense, right? And I'm like, just let me go home. And they would not let me. The whole fucking church, they're crying because I don't believe in God and because I don't want to mock their religion by going to be saved. And I find out that they specifically like told this, like waited for this pastor to bring me into this church because he was like this apparently internationally renowned Pentecostal pastor, and they were hoping that I would go and I would be saved. And I'm trying to explain to them, I'm like, I have prosthetic eyes. These aren't real. There's no way that a prayer is going to make real eyes grow into my head. And they're like, no, but it will. You just don't believe enough. They were actually telling me that if I believed enough, and that with their belief, that real eyes would magically grow into my head. And that God would provide me with a pair of working eyes attached to the optic nerves in my brain, and that they would work by the end of that sermon. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, guys, if you don't let me go, I'm calling the cops and I'm calling my father. Like, you have to let me go. And so finally, their mother brought me home. And I'm like, you guys betrayed me. You betrayed my friendship. You betrayed my trust. And I can't believe, like, how could you do that to me? Like, that is not how you get people to join your religion. That's fucked up. That's not what you do. That is beyond messed up. And they just couldn't understand why I didn't want to be their friend anymore. They genuinely thought that they were doing the right thing. It was crazy. It was insane. And that's the story of how I almost got kidnapped by the Spanish Pentecostals. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.